Rassie, just to stay with the locks, your success has probably been built as much on locks as it has been on anything else. This is over the 8 years that you've been around. Obviously playing 2 locks off the benches or the 6-2 split. When you don't have any on the bench, does that sort of present a potential sort of soft underbelly for England on Saturday?
No, I don't think so. I wouldn't say it was always the locks. I mean, I think Nche is definitely somebody that was always is a big loss for us, without a doubt. I mean, Nche had impact when he started even against New Zealand away in the second Test match. You know, Nche is a big guy, and he really brings a lot of impact. Jean Klein wasn't a lot on the bench, if my memory serves me correct. And then Riley is quite a new guy. Who's the other guy that's injured that we're missing?
Yeah.
And Lewitt, and yeah, so they are 2 weeks away. So for this Test match, having Peter covering lock for us, you know, and having those 2 loose forwards, we think they're class loose forwards. I mean, obviously Marco's done the job for us many times. Cameron is certainly, it's new for him in that role, but I think all of us know, or think we know what his ability is, and hopefully that can translate to Test match level. But not having an Nche's name on, I think any team will tell you, if you don't have him in your team, it will be. You will be have less impact, without a doubt.
Rassie, it's not something we get to ask you a lot, but this is almost full circle from 2018 in a way. Over this last couple of years, have you had any time to sit and reflect from the journey from 2018 to here, facing an England team? It's almost at the start of a new type of generation, I suppose.
You mean personally?
Yeah.
Yeah, Brennan. When we finished November, December, January is a bit off, and then we watch a lot of rugby and we do a lot of online and virtual meetings and go around in franchises and do succession planning and roadmaps on players, and then you're not in camp and you're not around the players. You know, you're not in a team talk, you're not in a team meeting, so you get lots of time to think about the year that comes, and then it gets long here from February. Then you want the season to start again. So the nice feeling is always when you're here, and not specifically here in front of you guys, but being back in the camp. I don't know if this will sound funny, but it's some place where you feel safe because you've gone through good and bad times here, and you think you know the players and the personalities and your coaching staff, and even get to know you guys better since. There was ups and downs with the media, with the referees, and there were certainly some really, really tough times and some really, really great times, so hopefully the great times gets better.
I just need to follow that up, just in terms of the reflection as such. Is the hunger still there? You've been through so much, 1, 2 World Cups, etc. You're on your 3rd stint. Is the hunger still the same?
No, for me, personally, Brennan, my biggest fear is probably not losing. We must lose games. We lost 2 last year, and the previous year we lost. So, we will lose games, obviously. But the biggest fear is probably the feeling that we get in South Africa and what it means for South Africa. My biggest fear is not stop coaching or us losing a game or 2. It's that feeling that we currently have as South Africans together. The togetherness is something really that gives me adrenaline and a rush, and I enjoy that, and I love that. So I've got a fear of that going away, and I think that's why we try to work so hard, because we love that.
Yeah.
Rassie, this may be a slightly difficult question to answer depending on how aware you are of what's going on outside of your camp.
Yeah.
But do you feel that people outside your squad are underestimating England a bit? I mean, at the start of the year, I think everyone was thinking that this game this weekend at Ellis Park would be between the 2 form teams in World Rugby.
No, they've lost 5 on the trot, and I guess that's why people immediately will think, you guys are in trouble. We just from experience, or they're in trouble. But from experience, myself, and again, I think I said it in the previous media conference, a week is a long time. 50 points, us against New Zealand away, and then when we lost 57-0, and then the next weekend it was a 2-point game. 5 months after we got smashed, we went to the World Cup and won it. In last year, Australia, They smashed us at Ellis Park, and we went on to win the Rugby Championship. So we're under no illusions that, you know, obviously if you just look at stats and you don't analyse the opposition 100%, and you just look at newspaper articles and look at a few TikTok things and Instagram things or a few podcasters, then it's easy to form an opinion and just go with the flow. I mean, if you look at those players, if you ask Thomas de Tour who plays in that league, and you look at those players, we're under no illusions that we never thought it's going to be an easy run-in for us, and we know what we're getting into on Saturday.
Rassie, obviously things have changed quite a lot. I think you've been at the heart of that change, with giving lots of more players opportunities, and some people spoke about the fact that we've now got kind of more Springboks than ever before, because so many people get chances. But in many ways, because there's now a genuine trust that there's no longer a necessarily first choice, second choice, but you've got 3 or 4 people that can play in the same sort of position. Do you think now it might even be almost the most difficult it's been to be able to hold your place in a team and kind of get a lot of caps, given the fact that you do retain now?
Yeah, I think one of the things we definitely discussed without talking out in our team environment, you know, for a player chasing test caps, unfortunately there's not a place for him in our environment, and that we decided together. And the plain and simple reason is, I think you get two types of Springboks. You get those who will do anything to be in the team, and then you get those who will do anything to make the team win. So I think we prefer the latter. So if a player is really good enough, you know, if we could pick 15 subs, it would be awesome. But because the trend is full, you have to have 3 props, you know, two props and a hooker, and after that you can play a little bit around with the subs. You know, if 2 players are really close to each other, we like to rotate. When 2 players is really close to each other, we like to put the best guys on the bench because they are so close to the team. But if 2 players are really far apart from one another, we try to bring youngsters into the system, or guys that we think can fill those guys' boots, and they must wait a little bit until they're good enough to get the opportunity. So it's tough to manage that. You know, I know 3 weeks ago when we said, we have a crisis. From our side, we look, okay, when are we going to give this guy a chance? When are we going to give this guy a chance? When is it fair to this guy? How close are those 2 guys together? And whilst doing all of that, we must try and beat the England team on Saturday. So it does get tougher. It does get tougher.
Question for Ox and for Rassie. The English scrum has been seen as one of their strengths during one of the fees, one of the areas where they've fought the right in the Six Nations. What do you make of the English scrum?
I think we've gotten some clips from them. I think they're very consistent. They have guys, they've actually started working together. They actually go low, they hit. So I think it's going to be a pretty challenge. I mean, with them, I think they've also gotten a lot of younger players that seem to be very excited about scrumming. So I think they have a very good scrum, and looking forward to the challenge.
I really don't know a lot about scrums. I echo what he's saying.
Rassie, just on the subject of squad depth, have you ever considered going down the route of capping players who might not be South African born? So England obviously have Jans van Rensburg in their Nations Championship squads. He's not eligible this week, but might play next week. Is that a route you've ever considered?
Well, if I tell the honest truth with him, and I hope I don't drop anybody by saying that, we had conversations with him, and he was very keen to come. But then my CEO asked me way back, listen, are you going to try and are you interested in Bernard Jansen van Rensburg? And I said, yes, obviously we are, but we just want to see in our pecking order where will he get time. And then he asked, but listen, are you going to try and cap him this year? And I said, no, I don't think so. And then we wanted to, in June, well, give him a chance because we were thin at centres and a lot of the guys were away, and we had the Barbarian and the SAA game. And then when I found the CEO, he said, no, you can't, you promised me. I already committed to England and to World Rugby that we won't go that route. So no, we were looking at him and we wanted to cap him, and because the promise I made to the CEO and he made to World Rugby and everything, we did not pursue that.
Is it disappointing that he's...
No, not at all. No. It's a difficult thing. I don't think people believe us. When Jacques Nienaber goes to Leinster and he does well, we are happy for Jacques, he's one of our friends. When Duan van der Merwe or Pierre Schoeman or whatever plays in different countries do well, it's the South African does well. He wears the other jersey. When he plays against we want to beat them and we want to smash them and tackle them back, and it's competitive. But when a South African person does well, you can watch anybody, hockey, Bafana, I mean, Wolfhard in the cricket is one of my favourite women to watch. When the South African do well, we're happy, and we're glad he's not playing this match against us, because we know he's from Free State. He played for Griquas. We know him well. He's a tough boy, tough man, and that's why we considered him. But the fair thing is, give him a chance where he is.
But in a hypothetical situation, if there was a player who was born in England, spent his entire life in England, would you ever consider sort of capping a player like that?
Well, I'm just talking from our point of view. I'm not putting my shoes in the England setup, because I wouldn't know. We've kept Beesman Tarawira, and we have a guy like the Chuka brothers now. So, who's available, and we follow the protocols. But I can't tell you what the English guys are thinking. In my opinion, I think it's a good thing if he can make the team better, and he deserves it. I can't tell you about the cultural things, how they work in England.
Percy?
Sorry, good afternoon, Jessie. Sorry, I know 3 years is a long time. I was trying to think before I ask my question. What is your diet been like this week? Is it salads or is it cakes? More serious note, can I ask you, what are you expecting of this England, the class of 2026, though, compared to previous years?
That has been mostly steaks this week. And I think they're pretty exciting bunch of guys. I mean, we've watched the St. Northampton, watched both. The English Premiership has just been pretty exciting. So I think they have a lot of youngsters that also have played a lot of games for England. So I think it's a team that's full of energy. They're gonna definitely man up front, try to be physical, and I mean, they have a lot of energy. They have a lot of exciting wings. They have a lot of variation to the game as well. So I think it is gonna be it's not probably the England that we all used to know. Maybe let's stick to one thing. I think when they see opportunities on, they have all the talent and youngsters to actually see through and maybe finish an opportunity when an opportunity arises. So I think they're a pretty sharp team. Yeah.
Is there any last question? Sorry guys, for vloggers, for Jessie before we switch off vlogging?
Jessie, just on your opposite number this week, Seb Atkinson. You're a very fit guy. You pride yourself on that. He's also apparently the fittest guy in England. And it broke the Bronco record of Bowden Barrett. Maybe just something on him and what you know about him?
Yeah, I think obviously a great player. I think he's obviously going to add massive value to their squad. But I think, Bronco doesn't win your rugby games, and we've obviously seen that with our fitness test. It's obviously a nice baseline to get you, and you obviously want to get up there and show that you're able to meet the demands of what a test match requires. But I think he's a great player. I think all their centres in their team are really good, and they've obviously shown throughout the Premiership how great they are as players. So looking forward to the challenge and excited about it.
Right.